Hi, it's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to Career Coach Office Hours. I spend time on Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern answering questions from you about job search, hiring more effectively, management, leadership, career transition, helping you with advice about different issues in the workplace. Because I know a lot of the advice people are given isn't really all that good. It's well meaning and well intentioned, and it's not great. So I take time twice a week to field questions from people so that in this way you're getting a pro's advice. Now, I'll just remind you, in addition to putting your questions into chat, on these subjects, you can visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us, where you can schedule time for a free discovery call, schedule time for coaching, find out about my courses, books, and guides. There's just a lot there that will help you. The blog is phenomenal, by the way. More than 12,000 searchable posts that you can watch, listen to, or read that will help you in a variety of different ways. Also, subscribe to JobSearchTV on YouTube. You can download an app by the same name on Amazon. Watch me on bingenetworks.tv, which goes to like 300 plus streaming services. And subscribe to No BS Job Search Advice Radio in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, where it's a video podcast, Google Play, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's a worthwhile resource for you. And lastly, for this open, I'll just remind you, if we're not already connected, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. I will tell you, yesterday I did a live stream for someone else, Marty Gilbert from North Shore Executive Networking Group. Fun to work with someone doing this. He was moderating. I could just sit back and answer questions from people. He took some answers. I took some. We chatted about our answers. It was a lot of fun. If you want to watch the replay of it, it's on LinkedIn. Marty Gilbert and Jeff Altman is the way to find it most easily. Or you could watch it on YouTube on my channel, JobSearchTV.com. It's today's show, and it's about 45 minutes in length. Good stuff. We cover a lot of questions on a variety of different subjects. It kind of follows the model that I do here, where there are questions from an audience or questions that are sent in advance, designed to help people find work more quickly, and a whole bunch more. So I've got questions from you. And let me go to the first one, okay? Why would a recruiter block me after interviewing me on Skype? Well, there's a couple possible reasons. They don't want to get contacted by you. They may have found your follow-ups over Skype annoying, too persistent. They've rejected you and they don't want to field answers from you, or field questions from you, I should say. And thus, they're trying to save themselves time. So they're just blocking you on Skype so that you can't be annoying to them. And I'm not saying that you are being annoying, but think of it from their standpoint. You're rejected. They don't want to talk to you because all you're going to say is, but why? I did so well on the interview. And they disagree with that assessment. So they're making it simple for themselves. Their behavior is telling you that you've been rejected. As a result, give up on it. You can always share your experience of how you were treated with others, because I don't think that's cool what they did. I think there's a more politic way of doing it by just simply saying, the hiring manager chose someone else, or I've chosen not to refer you. These are the areas of deficiency I've picked up on, and let it go with that. Thus, if it's only the recruiter that you've spoken with, that latter answer is a fair answer because you can always respond by saying, that's not true. I have such and such type of experience. You didn't really ask me about that. And thus cause them to want to talk with you again. But the long and the short of it is, it's a rude way to reject someone for a position. Okay. So that's why they blocked you on Skype. How do I ask about a job application status after an interview? Easy. You ask about it. Hey, I uploaded my application to you through the applicant tracking system. I'm curious. I'm sorry, this is after the interview. So I'm curious. I did the interview last Tuesday. It's Friday. Um, when do you plan on bringing me back for next steps? If you find that is too aggressive for you, then you can say, I interviewed with you on Tuesday. It's Friday. Do you have any feedback for me? I'm a more assertive person about these things. You may not be. And thus you can just simply say, I haven't heard back. I'm curious about whether or not I'm going to be hearing about another interview and when that might be. Any way you do it, just follow up. Don't overthink it. Pretend like you're talking to a friend of yours and you're looking for some further information from them. That's the tone to take, whether you text them, email them, or call them. Okay? I saw this question. I loved it. Does the corporate ladder still exist? Rarely. Reid Hoffman, who's the founder of LinkedIn, describes it as a jungle gym, not a ladder, where you're moving from one beam to another and you're kind of leaping and swinging and taking steps up and taking steps sideways. It is more of a jungle gym these days. It's not like you start off in this classic story from the 1950s in the mailroom and work your way up to the CEO role. By the way, that's a plot line to a movie called The Hudsucker Proxy, where a mailroom worker moves up and is made president of the Hudsucker Corporation, which is going out of business. And he comes up with a brilliant idea and he shows it to the board and he picks up a picture of a circle. And everyone's like, huh? Basically, he invented the hula hoop. And they wanted the company to go out of business. He saves the company with the hula hoop. No matter. It's not that way anymore. No one rises up from the lowest level and ascends the ladder until the top rung. That's what the corporate ladder was symbolic of back in the day. As a result, I don't really think it exists. And I think the better metaphor for now is a jungle gym because it really does reflect the way of the world right now. Now, I'm just going to remind you, for those of you who are coming on later, if you've got questions about job search, hiring, management, leadership, doing a career transition, or want advice about a particular workplace issue, put your question into chat. I'd be very happy to answer it. Okay. Here we go. Another question. So this person was let go from their position. Should I tell a recruiter I was let go for no reason and unknown reasons as I was doing the job well during the interview, or is that a bad answer? What awkward grammar you have. You could have been let go for bad grammar. So if I'm interpreting this right, should I tell the recruiter I was let go for no reason at all? And is that a bad answer? It is a bad answer because they're not going to believe this. Companies have reasons for letting people go. It's that simple. It could be because financially they weren't doing well. It could be because they reorged you and 5 other people out of the organization because they didn't need you anymore in that department. Whatever it is, that answer isn't good enough. I think it's worth your while, since you don't know, to find out why you were let go and contact your former manager and just say, hey, look, I'm not here to get into an argument. I'm not there anymore. Why was I released? Well, we had to cut people and you were the most junior person, and that's why we let you go. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that because I want to be able to explain it in an interview where it doesn't sound like I'm crazy. So I knew there was a reason. I didn't know what it was. I appreciate you making the time to explain it to me. And that makes it very simple. But telling them you were let go for no reason, even though you were doing a great job, that doesn't work. That just doesn't work. They won't believe you. That's the fact of it. Oh, yeah. I was promoted 3 months ago and still haven't received my promised raise, my official title, or job description. The boss keeps telling me they're waiting on HR and HR is unreasonable. I love my job, but I'm fed up. Is there a way I could move things forward? Well, it would seem like your manager is lying to you. It's that simple. It seems like they're lying. I'd love to be wrong about this, but you've learned a new job and have taken on more and or different responsibilities. And if it were true that you'd gotten a raise and a promotion, you would have gotten a notification about this through HR, through institutional channels, something. It's possible what he or she has done is that you've gotten a functional increase in responsibilities, but despite what they told you orally, they didn't have the authority to pay you more, let alone give you a new title. So you're operating under the old one. And thus the question about moving things forward, well, since HR isn't getting back to you to confirm that they've lied to you, well, all you can do is say, I'm disappointed. And you have this conversation with your manager. I find it hard to imagine that in 90 days, a quarter of a year, or 20% of a year, HR is not capable of generating an offer letter, providing me with information about a higher salary level because I'm doing a more senior level position or anything. And I don't want to question you. I don't want to question whether you're telling me the truth. So I just want to simply say, I really hope you can generate an offer letter for me in the next 30 days. And by doing that, it gives them the idea that you're sufficiently angry that you'd look for another position. You haven't said that. But what you're saying is you're hoping that they can do something about it within the next 30 days. And the reason for that is really very simple. If they want to keep you, they need to do something. That's the reality to it. You're not going to sit there at a lower salary, are you? So what you're doing is telling them the truth and giving them an opportunity to fix the problem because there is a problem. You're being underpaid for the role that you're in. So solve it. Solve it. Fix the problem. Get this solved. Okay? What does it mean when an employer says they will contact you if interested after submitting your application and resume to them? It means they will contact you if they're interested in interviewing you after you've submitted your application and resume. In other words, don't call us. We'll call you if we're interested. That's all it means. Here's a fun one. Bear with me for 1 second. So, I did an interview last Wednesday. The next day, I got an email saying I got the job. Yay! And they wanted me to relocate as soon as possible. They said they would send over the formal offer letter with my particulars and whatnot. I heard from HR on Friday and they said they would be in touch. I haven't heard anything, so I emailed them yesterday. This seems like it's from the past. Yesterday, but no reply. I'm just getting a little nervous. Maybe I'm being too impatient. I'm not sure how long this process normally takes. I was hoping for some insight. Okay, this is how I interpret what's going on. You've gotten the offer. Great. They haven't generated the offer letter, which should take about, on a bad set of circumstances, the next day. So I would message them back and say, I received the oral offer. I've accepted. I'm waiting for the offer letter. I haven't received it yet. I can't resign my position, let alone go out there to work for you without the offer letter. You can also contact the hiring manager and tell she or he, I received the oral offer. Fabulous. I haven't received an offer letter, so I can't resign yet. Well, why can't you resign? Because that's my legal protection in case you guys pull some funny business. I'm not saying you, but other people don't seem as motivated as you are to get me on board. So I'll just say to you, folks, don't quit until such time as you have an offer letter. It's really that simple. Don't quit until you have the offer letter and it confirms everything that you've been told so far. Because otherwise, you're going to wind up in the wrong situation and you're not going to like that. I really mean it. You're not going to like that. So don't do it. Okay. Here we go. Every time I try to apply for a job online, after finishing, I always have to wait for them to reply, which is so annoying. So annoying. Ooh. So in this case, the person's unemployed, and they're worried that this job doesn't exist. Unemployment is high. What's the point in having all this if government is just going to make you wait? Well, they're making you wait. And I know this is your number one priority. This could be the number 6. It's so important to fill these jobs. That part is preferred. But they also want to know that you're in love with them. So if you can wait, go ahead and wait. I'm not a fan of that. But it does start off with, this person applies for a job online. They always have to wait for them to respond. Unemployment is high. What's the point of all of this if the government is just going to make you wait? Well, they're going to make you wait, apparently. So what they're signaling to you through their behavior may be, that you have the offer and they're short-staffed because it's the summer and their assistant is not available. So keep interviewing. That's the best advice I could give you. Keep interviewing. This way you don't wind up getting caught short if they pull back on the offer. Okay? I applied for an internal role. Ooh, where is it? There we go. But I no longer want to pursue that position. How do I nicely withdraw without any bad blood or worry of retaliation about the current position? Now, here's a fact. The fact is, no one can stop you from worrying. It's the way it is. You're going to worry. If you are meticulous and detail-oriented, if you are loud and rowdy, no matter what, you're not going to please everyone. And in this particular case, you're out of luck here. You can't make them do something that they don't want to do. The result winds up being that they lose out on you because you're not being nice and docile and compliant. So this is for an internal role in the firm, and thus you have a little bit more clout than someone from the outside. So contact them and indicate, I've been waiting for feedback. It seems to have gone on longer than previously I was told. And thus, what you want to be doing is demonstrating how your background fits the role. So whether it's an internal or external position makes no difference. Supply them with best information you can, formatted in a quality way so that this way they want to come out and talk to you. Ooh, bear with me. I prepared for hours, took time off from work for the interviews, only to be ghosted in the end by the potential employer. Well, I'm just going to deal with the immediate thing first and say, yes, I understand your disappointment at their contact and how they haven't really contacted. And thus you're annoyed and angry that they've that they've wasted your time. So there's no real question here. This is more a lament about how people are being ghosted after they've done so much to help someone find work. All it is now is they're ghosted. Awful. Absolutely awful circumstances. Firms don't understand how rudely they're paying attention. In other words, they really aren't. As a result, don't put yourself in that position. Use your network of relationships to help you find jobs. Okay. I applied to an internal role in my company, but I no longer want to pursue that position. How do I nicely, where is it? How do I nicely withdraw without any bad blood or worry of retaliation within my current position? This is going to start showing up more and more often as we get closer to the announcement of the Great Recession. So what you can do is really very simple. What you can do is present the poem or present the lines from Vonnegut, demonstrate how you fit, smile, be friendly, be likable, be knowledgeable. Again, what firms look for when they hire starts off with competence, self-confidence, competence, self-confidence, character, chemistry, maybe a little bit of charisma, that you care, that they can connect with you. But the long and the short of it is you're out of luck for now. So just keep plugging. Keep looking for something else while they get their stuff together. Okay. We go on to the next question. Why does the job search have to be so soul-crushing and dehumanizing? Well, it really doesn't. It doesn't have to be soul-crushing. What it is a process that firms engage in, which to the best of their ability gives them an idea of what a person is capable of during interviews. Got it? So what you can do in lieu of falling prey to this soul-crushing behavior is talk to the people who currently work for the firm and ask them what their impression is. That will give you a better feel for the organization and its work culture. And from there, what you're able to do is submit a resume that's going to get to a hiring manager much more quickly. We move on. How do you ask about the application status following an interview? Easy. Forwarding my resume to you for such and such role. I was doing consulting for them for 15 years and looking to change organizations quickly. What can you do? Not all that much. What they can do is use screen passes, to deflect you from um, over consideration of their opportunity. What they can do is ask about your legal right to work in the United States once they know about you. So, how do you talk about it following an interview? Hi, I forwarded my application and I'm not seeing anything in the system with the status of my candidacy. If you're not interested, my feelings aren't hurt. I wish you good luck. If you are interested, I'm still waiting for information. Let them make the choice so that in this way, you're not distracted by nonsense. The hiring manager of a company I applied to reached out to me. And they advised them to apply to other roles advertised to increase my chances. Does this really mean that my initial applications were not successful? Yes. Yes, it does mean that. What it means fundamentally is that you have an impressive background, and the long and the short of it is too many applicants for too few jobs. We're going to let you go. And that's really what's going on right now. It's not about you, it's about them. Okay? Why do recruitment agencies never say the name of the company they're hiring for? Boy, shake my head. So, why do they do that? Simple. It allows them to maintain a degree of control over the process. Thus, you're in a situation where they're evaluating you and they're concerned that you have an opinion of their firm, so they prefer not mentioning it. The opinion is generally negative. The opinion is going to interfere with them wanting to hire you. And as a result, it's not an ideal position to be in. You're, in effect, the supplicant. You're the one who wants a new job in their thinking. As a result, you look like hell. Okay, we move on. Why do recruiters care? Do recruiters care about eye contact? Ah, I like this one. How do I get a part-time job? Let me just back up to that. Well, a lot of people are doing it. And Ravi, I don't know your background to be specific. Uh, Remember, there are people you know who may know people that you don't know who might be willing to take someone on part time or on a contract basis. Not to have you start a new job full time, but to do some part time work. Networking is always the ideal way to do that. You might take a look on LinkedIn and Indeed to see what part time jobs might fit you and your background. You can always message employers and ask if they have some part time work open and define what your area of expertise is. These are the basic ways, including are there groups that you volunteer with, schools, accounting firms, software firms, any number of organizations might take someone on part time. Again, I don't know what it is that you do, but I do know that it's hard to find part time work, as you already know, I'm sure. And thus, keep plugging. Don't be bashful. You can find something. Take a look on LinkedIn. Take a look on Indeed.com. Maybe that'll help you. And I do hope that did help. So, do recruiters care about eye contact? Let me just check one thing. Yes. Do recruiters care about eye contact? Not consciously, but subconsciously they do. They care about eye contact because when you look someone in the eye, you're more believable. If you can't look someone in the eye, they think you're being slippery and slimy. So no one wants to be seen in that way. So do things that make people get to know you, like you, trust you, and respect you. Share content on LinkedIn. Do it in groups. It will help you find work. And Ravi, you're welcome. And coming back, do recruiters care about eye contact is what I was answering there. And the answer is, if you were being interviewed by someone and they were kind of looking every which way and not making eye contact with you, you probably think they were being pretty rude. Well, the same is also true for employers evaluating potential hires. So maintain eye contact. I'm not suggesting that you stare intently at them. That doesn't work. But what you can do is look at them and use your voice as a sales tool to connect with them. You're going not just simply for competence, you're going for self-confidence, character, chemistry, charisma. You're looking for people who you know, like, and trust, and who will respect you. Find people like that, you will wind up with something. So I hope you found this helpful. I'm Jeff Altman. Visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There's a ton in the blog that can help you with job search, hiring more effectively, management, leadership, career transition, so much. There's just a ton available to you. In addition, I'm just going to remind you, I got a message from a friend of mine who looks like he has to go under the knife or something. In addition, visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. You can schedule time for a free discovery call, schedule time for coaching, find out about my courses, books, and guides. There's a lot there to help you. I'm sorry. Robbie, I missed your earlier question. It went right by. And you're 65 years old. Is there age discrimination? Unfortunately, yes, there is. And it's not something that you should pay attention to. Focus on making them fall in love with you and your capabilities. A lot of people, as you know, are going to say no to you. That's not necessarily because of your age. It could be because you're looking for something part-time and remote, and they don't trust you yet. So the long and short of it is, yes, there's age discrimination, but the conditions that you're placing upon this may make it harder for you. You're more likely to find something remote, working for someone who knows you, than you will for an absolute stranger. So coming back again, I apologize, but my website has a ton in the blog, like more than 12,000 searchable posts. You can find out about my courses, books, and guides. I have a new book coming out in about 6 weeks now that will help you organize your job search beautifully. In addition, I'll just remind you, subscribe to JobSearchTV.com on YouTube. Download the app of the same name for Amazon. Watch on other platforms on BingeNetworks.tv. Binge is on more than 300 streaming services. Download that app and watch me there. No BS Job Search Advice Radio is the OG in the job search space podcast. I've got more than 2,400 episodes over almost a dozen years that I've put out. So a lot of great material. Subscribe to the show. It will help you. And lastly, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. The way to connect is on LinkedIn. You go to my page, and there's an option there that will say follow. Yes, you can follow me, But then there's the hamburger that'll give you a drop down to where you can connect. It's better for you to actually connect. So I hope you have a terrific day. And most importantly, be great. Take care.